Hello everyone, welcome back to Tech World 2. I'm Hitman82 and I'm just doing a bit of an update on my build here. I've been doing some rotary craft stuff. I've had some problems as it seems to go. So I will show you what I've got going here now, and then I'll show you the project I'm working on. So without further ado, away we go. There's my lovely windmills. And they are a bit noisy. So you can see I put the unit, kind of made a little bit of a tower. I put the units up here at block 128, and then I added the bevel gears to direct the shaft power downwards. Now I actually just used, these are shafts, like shaft drives, and then I just put stone strips on there to make it kind of look like they were towers. So we'll shut those up. There, cease your noise. Okay, so what am I doing with those two towers, you ask? Well, if you didn't ask, you should be. There's the shaft going here, and it goes to a shaft junction. Now what that's used for is for either merging the power from two engines together, and you generally want to have them at the same speed, or you're going to have, just make sure they're at the same speed if you're merging them. Or you can use it to split the power, and you can even split the power in uneven ways. Like you could do, say there's 4 kilowatts coming in, you could put 1 kilowatt to one way and 3 kilowatts to the other way. There's a few different options for that. I can show that to you right now. So here's your options. It's a shaft junction. Here's the thing, you can pause that and read it if you wish. So yes, the inline is basically the power comes in from one direction and goes straight out the other side. The bend is the 90 degree, and then this is generally what I use, is the even. So you see there's a kind of a silvery gray gear here. That is your main power coming in, and then it goes out to those two. Now if it were going the opposite way, if you're doing merge mode, you'd have the two engines coming in here, and then this would be the output. And so you'll hold your screwdriver and you shift and then click it, and that changes the mode. And it doesn't actually say what the mode is here. You probably can't access that if the mode is if you're in like the two engine mode. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm splitting. It's 4 kilowatts coming in at 1,000 radians per second, like 4 Nm. It's really low torque. So that's 4 kilowatts coming in. I'm splitting it now to go that way, and I'll show you that in a minute, and to go this way. So the 2 kilowatts go over here, and then I have this is a clutch, which you use to turn it on and off. Basically, is an on-off switch for the shafts. And another bevel gear, and then another shaft junction where I'm splitting the power in two, and then another bevel. Now those are fan units, and what they're used for, it's the rotary craft farming. So what they'll do is at the current power, which will be 1 kilowatt each, they will blow stuff like 7 blocks. The more power you put in, the further they'll work. So what they're going to do is blow that canola down here to the hoppers, and then in the hoppers go into the chest. Not the hoppers, the canola goes into the hoppers, into the chest. So let's flip it on and see what happens. A bit of a noise there, but it's kind of neat. It's a little bit derpy there. You see they're kind of spitting them out. I don't know why it hasn't harvested that one yet. It could be a graphics glitch too, so... Oh, there it goes. Alright, so that was 14, I think 14 canola, and you can see the amount we're getting here. So yeah, a fair amount. Now with this chunk loaded, I could leave this on and I would have so much canola I wouldn't know what to do with it. that's why we have a clutch. Alright, so this other one, you see another clutch here. Shafts go along, there's a junction, so I split the power in half here. So 1 kilowatt goes here and 1 kilowatt goes over there. Now these are fermenters. They're used to make the ethanol fuel for the engines, and I'll show you that in a minute. So you can see this makes the yeast. So it takes sugar and dirt and it makes yeast. Pause this if you want to read it. And this one, you see the target is different. That's because I have a redstone torch underneath. So when it says here that the automation use redstone to choose the target production item, when you add a redstone signal to this, it changes it from producing yeast to producing sludge. So the sludge uses the yeast would go in here from the first machine, and then you would put plant products. I use leaves because I use my MFR to strip the leaves off trees. Saplings would work, any stuff like that, and it outputs to this stuff, which is a sludge. You then put that sludge in a redstone furnace, or any furnace, whatever, and it makes ethanol crystals. What do you use ethanol crystals for? I can hear you asking it. Well, I'll tell you in a minute. There we go, we turn that on, all the shafts start turning. I don't know if you can see it, I'm getting a little bit of lag. Unfortunately the mod I'm finding is really laggy, and I don't know if it's the server or my build or what, but you can see all the gears turning. Maybe that's causing it. I had some rotary craft piping. You can see I wanted to do it all rotary craft and it just didn't work out. I had to use fluid duct here from thermal expansion. The rotary craft piping was lagging me so bad. When I opened the crystal chest where the canola is, it took 15 seconds from the time I right clicked to the time it opened it, and it was not my connection, because I'm an ex-tech, so I know how to test these things. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so ethanol crystals, they go into this. This is a gasoline engine. So you put the ethanol crystals in here. I don't have any on me, but you see it says the fuel. It will hold up to 6 hours, I believe, and each crystal gives you 1 minute, except for the first one. It kind of, you need one to start it. So if you put a full stack in, you would get 63 minutes of runtime. And this bar fills up and then starts counting up and down. As usual, you can pause this to see the info. A really nice output here. On these machines, they don't blow up like, the Buildcraft combustion engine. Now, what I'm using that for, I needed 128 Nm of torque. I don't know if you noticed that. Right here, 128 Nm. That is a grinder right here. You can use this to grind up the canola seeds for lubricant. That's why I was making the canola seeds. You can pause this as usual. So you can grind up the canola seeds for the oil. You can see there's for lubricant. There's the lubricant. I'll show you where that's going in a second. You can grind up ore in this, and it will triple the yield of the ore. Let me see. There's other stuff you can use put through this. I can't think of what it is off the top of my head. What's it saying here? Oh yeah, here we are. Stone to cobblestone, cobble to gravel, gravel to sand. Okay, so I'm feeding this with a hopper, and then underneath is fluid duct, putting it into these open block tanks because I like them. They look really neat. See the fluid moving. I've hidden the pipes, but the pipes go over to this tank over here, and then from that tank into this gearbox. See, I've got the thing turned off. I could fill that, but I'm not going to because I might move it. A gearbox, since we may as well move on to that next. The gearbox requires lubricant until you get to the higher end stuff, like the bedrock gearboxes don't require lubricant. Ratio, this is an 8-to-1 gearbox. You can make anywhere from 2-to-1, 4-to-1, 8-to-1, 16-to-1. You can get 32 to 1, but you have to use a separate machine CVT, which I may or may not get to here, depending on how far I get it going in the build here. So I will show you what this will do, and then turn on and show you that. Well, we've got night coming, but oh well, turn on night vision. Yay, it's magic. Alright, so my second tower is running here. You can see it comes over here. There's another clutch, gearbox. And this is a pump. I can't remember if you right click and nothing happens, but let's see if I have my... It's an angular transducer. Here's your tools, by the way. You use the screwdriver and angular transducer. The transducer will actually allow you to click on a block, it'll tell you what power it's getting and the input and output, that sort of thing. And here's I/O goggles, so I could put them on and actually see it all, but it would be kind of confusing for you. Okay, so right click on this. It shows, see, you can input and output from the sides. Pump receiving 0 watts, 0 rads, insufficient power, liquid pressure at 0. Now, I don't think the pressure will work on fluid duct. That's why you have to use the rotary craft piping, so you can run sprinklers on it. And the more power you put into the pump, the better the sprinklers work with a higher power. It increases the range. So let's turn this puppy on. Isn't that cool? Listen to that. And as usual, if you get under a pump that's going like that, you're gonna take damage. Alright, so you can see it's in torque mode, 4.1 kilowatts. If I shift right click that with a screwdriver, it would change it to speed mode, and then it would go crazy speed, but wouldn't do us any good because there wouldn't be enough torque to run it. So this supplies the water over here back. Isn't that neat? It goes right around in a loop. The water is supplying these fermenters. They need water. So basically that one windmill, all it does is pump water. But, it runs forever, nice and free, so I love the price. Now you could use an Aqueous Accumulator, but I was trying to do more rotary craft stuff. Oh, and I kind of missed this one. This is one of the first things you build. Ha! You know what? I'm going to show you the very first thing you build. I should have done it this way in the first place. This is a work table. It's kind of like a crafting bench. There's your info. So you build this, you put the stuff in there, and then you bring it out here. It's kind of a work table type thing, workbench. So you build that, and then next you build a blast furnace, and this is how you make the steel that you use in most of the recipes. Now you'll see the cobble or the obsidian around here. This thing runs hot, and when I had this in my other house, I had to have the obsidian around, and this block kept catching fire like crazy. So yeah, in a wood house that wouldn't have gone well, so I knew about it ahead of time, thanks to Kara. So underneath this is a lava source block. It heats at 600 degrees Celsius. You see at the top is this temperature. The 25 degrees Celsius is the ambient temperature of the biome I'm in. Where I was in my desert base, it was at 640 because it was 40 degrees ambient temperature. Looking here, what we would put in is gunpowder here, and then it will not use a gunpowder for every process, so I'd say half a stack of gunpowder with a full stack of charcoal or coal, and then fill each of these with a full stack of iron for the best. You'll actually get crits, like critical successes where you get more than 9 steel from 9 iron. And then they'll put there, so you take them out and you get lots of XP for them, so if you automate that you kind of lose out on the XP. Here's your info. Here's a little bit here. I kind of missed that the first time I read through and I was looking for another page. Here's all the info. Okay, so yes. Oh, and I made a little false chimney there just because I thought it would look neat, but it is just a 1x1 block. Fun with microblocks. Okay, do I have anything else to show you for rotary craft this episode? I don't believe I do, so I can show you what I've been working on now. The lagginess kind of put me off rotary craft, so I've been off it for a day or two. I'll get back to it, I think. So, what I will do now is pause it, and I will go and show you where I'm building my new workshop. That's going to be nice and futuristic and IC2 heavy, and yeah, should look pretty awesome. So I'll be right back. Alright, we're back at my base. You can see I've added some more crafting terminals here so I can build more things at once. Put my tinker table on the floor. I can't remember where I was when you last saw the video. I made that neat wooden door there. It was, instead of having the, when you put the, it's easier to show you. There. That one would make a full oak wood door. It's not an NEI, so I kind of stumbled across it. Now you could do jungle wood door and whatever you want. I'll just have a quick look around. If I don't think there's anything new here. I can't remember if I changed the shop or not. I had a bit of rotary craft stuff here, so I took it out, so I've got a bit more room. Oh, you see the ender chest there? That's vanilla Minecraft. Ender backpack opens what's in the chest. That means if I die, all the stuff that's in the chest survives. Okay, so put a couple bookcases over there with a bunch of books. And I move my books around a bit over here to make kind of a little hub. I think I showed you the extractor. If I didn't, well, remind me and I'll show you. Basically, that's 5 or more times ore out of the same amount. I hollowed it out a bit down here. Nothing exciting there. I just put this stuff in tonight. This is an energy bridge. So RF consumer, so I'm getting power from my reactor, goes to an energy bridge. And then here's an MV producer. And there's an LV producer over there. This is for medium voltage, the other one's for low voltage. So this is a temporary thing. It's going to be going into my new shop, but I needed construction foam. So I have a thermal centrifuge here, and that was a pain in the butt to build. Takes cobble, makes it into dust. So you can see I loaded this sucker full of cobble because I want to fill it full of stone dust. And I will show you the why. So we are making construction foam. That's what that thing on my hotbar is. I love construction foam. Damn trapdoors and worse than buttons. Okay, so this is a canning machine, and you have to supply water to it. There's construction foam powder going in here, and I have a backpack. So it is loading the backpack with foam now. So we'll give that a second to fill. Don't you guys need a tutorial on IC2? That one's pretty common, but there's a compressor for making the stuff you make the glass fiber cable from. Forget what it's called, the red stuff. And there's a macerator for macerating. Okay, let's see how far that's come along. Not patient. Okay, so this is where I will be building my mega base. And it doesn't look very big for a reason. It is not going to be very big. But what it will make up for in the, you know, it's got a small footprint, but it's going to be a skyscraper. Well, a few levels anyway. Now the stuff I'm walking on here is construction foam. Now you'll see some white parts here. that is wet construction foam, and you can walk into it, see? And if it was 2 blocks high, it would smother me. So this is my construction foam backpack, so I'll put that on. This is my sprayer. So these are wooden scaffolds, they're for IC2. See, and you click that and it fills it. Now if I wasn't using the wooden scaffold, it would not go in a straight line, it would waste a lot. So let's fill in the rest. If you click on the floor like that, you see how it kind of filled that pattern. If I stand down here and then click on the floor, see? Waste. That's all waste. You just break that like just punching it. Of course, I don't have... You know what? I should have waited, shouldn't I? Huh. That would have finished it. Anyway, what you can do is... Oh, I don't have any sand on me. Just a second. You can use sand to dry the stuff immediately. So I can just punch that to get rid of it. Obviously, I don't want to do so. You can use a pickaxe and break it. Like so. Just breaking that open so when I spray it next time it'll fill it all. Alright, and you'll see this paint roller I've got. Isn't that neat? Look, you can change the colors, and now if I just get another color roller, you make a roller, you use a die with the roller and the grid, and that will make it the color. So you can you know, carry a bunch of different rollers of different colors. It goes to the ink or the paint pretty fast though. But now if I had a yellow roller, I could just click on those and they would change in the yellow. If you paint one that's not yet dry, doesn't look like it did anything. Now when it dries, oh, well, it used to be when you did that it would go to that color. But anyway, I threw a bunch of these down at Fad's house, so he's going to be surprised and hopefully pleased. He likes purple. So this is where my new base will be when I get this, you know, a little bit further underway. I will record another video and show it to you. So until then, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.